have you got all 4 in the right order? Have you done, don't go over the top, but like just go 2 notches more to describe why is this so bad? Be precise. And then, because a key thing in the science of influence is providing contrast. If you don't do this and this, there is no journey. And the other model that they showed me, which really helped me, is involves a premise called the interestingometer. There's my interestingometer, and it suggests that most people in life are pretty nice and civil to each other, and they'll try and listen. But the interestingometer says there's a time when it's not conscious. Someone just has to know. They really want to know what's going on. And the life cycle of most stories goes like this. Well, it's about this sort of person who I met the other day. It's new, so that my interestingometer moves because of the new topic. But then, to be honest, I'm not the best person to say this. You should probably talk to my manager, Bob. And I'm trying to remember. But what you need to know about our strategy is we have a such and such a project, and we work in this part of Africa. We've got 3-pronged attack, really. And in the context of that strategy, I'm going to tell you this story. But this happened. Thank goodness we were able to do this, and this was the result. The curse of knowledge, often, the first time you tell it, causes you to put maybe just 2 sentences too many, but sometimes 6 sentences too many. And if your colleagues are really honest with you, they can tell you where it was just random. It was you needing to talk rather than telling them what they needed to hear. So the other tactic I'm inviting you to do is, could you cut several sentences from the early waffle bit? And a reason why this is so powerful is many people don't tell stories because they've been caught too often with donors rambling on, and then they won't do it again. But if you know you can go from here to here to here to here, short, sharp, done it in 30 seconds, you're so much more likely to be brave and tell more stories. So many fundraisers I meet don't have enough stories. They've only got 2 when they should have at least a dozen. But secondly, once you've got several, then it becomes much easier for you to choose the right one. Because yes, clearly, if you tell a story about a captain of industry being able to make a big difference, and you tell that to someone who's nowhere near that sort of lifestyle, that isn't going to help much. So yes, absolutely. But the more you have, the more you can pick and choose the right story that they will be able to relate to. We've got time for one last share. Yes, Stuart?
Actually, it was interesting because my action has been a bit light the first time around.
Yeah.
And actually, having looked at the framework, it just allowed me to refocus on actually the action was a bit...
Yeah.
Didn't really say what we'd actually done.
Yeah.
So using that as a framework kind of allowed me to replan to make sure I got enough of the who, enough of the problem, enough of the action to make it sound...
Good. And Rachel's nodding. It sounds like that made sense to you.
Great story.
Yeah. Very good.
What I find difficult with this, and maybe this is because I'm a process person, is now I've lost that passion in that story because I'm going,
Yeah.
But I think it's true that it is practice and it is thinking it through.
Yeah.
But yeah, that immediately had me.
Yeah, and there's always a tension, isn't it? Lots of the things I'm sharing with you today are technique and strategy, and there's a risk that one can think that when you get all... I'm even going to give you a formula for how to listen better. Like, all of these things that you were pretty good at up till now, and they've been your strengths, I'll come along with a formula. I agree. Initially, if it can seem that that'll take the authenticity out, the magic I have found is once you know this, often you can let go of it again, but you're left with even more connection and even more authenticity. But you have to, that's what happened, it's like driving a car. Initially, you're focusing on the mirror signal maneuver type rhythms. Once you go past that and you master them, you're left expert level rather than doing it consciously level.